What happens when one of the most famous reality stars in the world, Khloé Kardashian, swaps her glamorous lifestyle for the demanding role of being her own mother's assistant? The answer might shock you. Behind the glitz, the private jets, and the endless paparazzi flashes, there is a world of phone calls, scheduling nightmares, and relentless expectations. And when Khloé Kardashian becomes Kris Jenner's assistant, she quickly realizes that even someone raised in the chaos of fame is not fully prepared for the storm that is Kris Jenner. Could Khloé keep up? Or would she, like so many others before her, struggle under the weight of the most powerful momager in Hollywood? It all begins early in the morning, long before the Kardashian-Jenner household typically stirs. Kris Jenner, the woman behind the empire, is already awake at dawn, checking emails, taking calls, and dictating her first set of instructions for the day. And on this particular day, Khloé Kardashian is no longer just Kris's daughter, she's her assistant. For Khloé, this shift is more than just a playful experiment. It's a test, a glimpse into what keeps the Kardashian machine running. But as the sun rises, so too does the pressure. And Khloé is about to discover that becoming Kris Jenner's assistant means living life at a pace even she didn't anticipate. The first call comes in at 6:05 a.m. Kris Jenner's schedule is already in motion. Fashion meetings, branding deals, a conference call with producers of their hit reality series It, all needs to be arranged, confirmed, and executed flawlessly. Khloé, clutching a notepad and phone, jumps in with enthusiasm. She thinks, how hard can this be? After all, she has managed her own career, starred in multiple shows, and run successful businesses. But quickly, the chaos proves overwhelming. The calls overlap. One client needs Kris at 10 a.m. in Beverly Hills, but another insists on a 10:15 Zoom that cannot be rescheduled. You'll figure it out, Kris tells Khloé with a calm smile, a smile that hides decades of managing impossible schedules. Khloé, however, feels the storm building. The role of Kris Jenner's assistant is not just about answering phones. It's about anticipating needs before they even arise. Kris doesn't just want her meetings scheduled. She wants the right people placed in the right slots, seamless travel arrangements, her favorite green juice waiting in the car, and every possible detail double. Khloé Kardashian, now in the hot seat, realizes that being Kris Jenner's assistant is a full-time performance of precision. And this is only the morning. By midday, the struggle intensifies. Khloé juggles 3 phones, one for personal calls, one for business, and one that seems to exist purely for emergencies. Each buzzes with urgency. Khloé, where's the updated itinerary? Khloé, did you confirm with the stylists? Khloé, the driver needs to know if we're leaving at 2 or 2:15. The smallest misstep could derail an entire day. And Kris Jenner, though patient with her daughter, is not forgiving when it comes to business. The stakes are too high. This is the woman who built an empire worth billions, who turned her family name into a global brand. For Kris, every second counts. The cameras may not be rolling, but the intensity feels cinematic. In the background, Khloé mutters to herself, repeating instructions, scribbling notes, and double-checking emails. She tries to breathe, but the pace is unrelenting. Her glamorous, image-perfect hair, flawless makeup, effortless style collides with the reality of scrambling to keep Kris Jenner on track. When Khloé Kardashian becomes Kris Jenner's assistant, the audience begins to see her not as a celebrity, but as a daughter trying desperately to keep up with the woman who has been orchestrating Hollywood's most famous family for decades. Then comes the first real crisis. A key brand deal, worth millions, has a last-minute complication. The contract hasn't been signed, and the deadline is ticking down. KrisJenner.com, yet stern, looks at Khloé. Handle it. Those 2 words strike harder than any camera flash ever has. Khloé, heart racing, dials lawyers, sends emails, and pushes for signatures. Hours pass like minutes. Finally, just when the situation seems unsalvageable, Khloé secures the deal. Exhausted but relieved, she turns to Kris for approval. Kris smiles, nods, and simply says, good. For anyone else, it might have been a monumental victory. For Kris Jenner, it's just part of an ordinary day. The afternoon grinds on with fittings, interviews, and planning sessions for the next season of their reality show. Khloé Kardashian struggles to keep up, sweat forming beneath the surface of her composure. At one point, she whispers into her phone, I don't know how she does this every day. And that is the truth at the heart of this experiment. Even for Khloé, who has lived under the bright lights of fame, who has built businesses and balanced public scrutiny, stepping into Kris Jenner's world as her assistant is like entering a different universe, one where speed, accuracy, and perfection are not goals but non-negotiable requirements. By evening, the toll is visible. Khloé slumps in a chair, her phone still buzzing relentlessly. Kris, unfazed, reviews tomorrow's agenda with the sharpness of someone who seems immune to fatigue. This is every day, she tells Khloé, almost as a reminder that this machine never stops. For Kris, it's not about survival, it's about thriving under pressure. For Khloé, however, the day has been a sobering revelation. Becoming Kris Jenner's assistant is not just about learning her mother's workload, it's about understanding the staggering responsibility that comes with being the architect of a global empire. But the story does not end there. In the quiet moments after the whirlwind, Khloé reflects. She admits her struggles openly, acknowledging that she underestimated the sheer force of her mother's role. And yet, there is admiration in her voice. My mom is unstoppable, she says, her tone filled with both exhaustion and awe. Through this experience, Khloé gains a new perspective, not only on Kris Jenner's work ethic, but on the foundation of discipline, resilience, and sheer determination that built the Kardashian on a dynasty. The documentary-style lens lingers on Khloé as she processes the day. There's humor in her exhaustion, humility in her honesty, and a newfound respect in her eyes. Viewers who tuned in, expecting to laugh at Khloé's struggles, instead find themselves marveling at Kris Jenner's relentless energy. The experiment proves something powerful. Behind every empire lies a tireless leader. And behind every leader is a mountain of unseen labor. When Khloé Kardashian becomes Kris Jenner's assistant and struggles to keep up, it isn't just entertainment, it's a revelation. Fame does not exempt one from hard work. Success is not effortless. And even for the Kardashians, whose lives seem larger than life, the foundation is built on endless hustle as the night draws to a close. Kris Jenner thanks her daughter, not with lavish praise, but with a simple acknowledgement. You did well today? For Khloé. Those words mean more than any headline, any magazine cover, or any viral moment. They represent recognition from the woman who has shaped her family's legacy. The woman whose shadow is as daunting as it is inspiring. The cameras fade, the phones finally fall silent, and Khloé Kardashian, drained but enlightened, smiles at the realization that while she may not want the role of Kris Jenner's assistant permanently, she will forever respect the machine her mother operates, daily. And so, the experiment ends. But the message lingers. Being Kris Jenner's assistant is not for the faint of heart. It is a battlefield of endless tasks, a dance of precision, and a lesson in resilience. Khloé Kardashian struggled, but in that struggle, she discovered the true weight of power, the price of success, and the unbreakable spirit of the woman known as Kris Jenner.